just record this now. Okay, doke. Welcome everyone. Thanks for joining. So it's going to be a bit of a quicker session today as I've got an appointment at 3, so I need to literally get going after this. But I'll try and get through this quick enough to answer any of your questions as well. So yeah, today it's going to be on optimizing willpower. So I'll go through the slides first, and then any questions that we can go through at the end, and just write some in the chat as well, and we'll go through them. So let me get the slides going. Hey Leo. Okay, doke. So optimizing willpower. So willpower is one of the most powerful tools in your trading. If you don't have any willpower, you're not going to be able to make correct trading decisions. So we need to learn how to optimize it. So willpower is basically like your focus, your energy. So we first need to make sure we understand our willpower. There's only so much of it we've got before it depletes. So you can kind of see it as like a cell phone battery. Eventually, if you use it enough, it's going to deplete, and you can recharge your cell phone battery. So see your willpower as a similar thing. So what can we do to optimize it? So prioritize certain trading tasks. Maybe start doing the most important things early in the day. When your willpower is at the strongest, and prioritize certain trading decisions and actions. And this way, your focus is going to be at that peak mental state. Avoid decision fatigue. So trading involves lots of decisions from entry, exits to risk management, your trade management. So if you can minimize the number of decisions you need to make during a trading session, by having like a well-defined trading plan, this is also going to reduce that mental strain on your willpower, you know. Next is you can implement a routine. So establish a daily routine that can include like a pre-market routine, one that gets you into a calm state and things like that. Then there's the setting alerts. By setting alerts, you're not having to watch the screens and letting that willpower deplete. And set certain trading times. So instead of being at the charts for 8 hours a day, letting that willpower deplete and your focus, maybe take an hour a day trading or 2 hours, and that way you're going to be at your best. You're going to be able to make better decisions and optimize your willpower. So routines are a secret sauce in trading. You really need to optimize it so you can trade at your best. So yeah, it can really help with decision making and reduce the need for that constant willpower. Manage stress and sleep. So high stress levels and insufficient sleep can help drain that willpower. So make sure you're getting adequate rest the day before, get an early night and things like that. Get good sleep, manage your stress levels, and that will definitely help. So next is you can nourish your mind. So just like I was saying that you can recharge your cell phone battery, you can do the same with your willpower and focus. Obviously through sleep, through taking regular breaks during your trading day, or simply by eating well. There's certain foods that help you support your willpower. So these can be like slow carbohydrates. You don't want to be having like a Red Bull where you crash from it. You don't want to be eating sugary sweets, where again, this is going to deplete your willpower. Once you start getting tired and burnt out, this is when it starts to go down. So, like I said previously, take breaks, regular breaks. So, if you're trading, say, for an hour, you've optimized your trading time for an hour. All right, you can still take a break every 15 minutes or something like that for 5 minutes while nothing's going on. And that way you can just recharge, give your brain and your focus just a bit more time to relax, and then you can get back into it. So, if you notice signs of fatigue or emotional exhaustion, consider taking a break. Just let yourself recharge a little bit. So the four main areas to look at to optimize your trading willpower are these four things. You want to be able to simplify, look at the frequency and reduce, and timing. So for example, simplify. Could you simplify your rules? Could you reduce the steps? Or could you simplify your routine a little bit? And frequency and reducing, could you reduce the amount of trades, reduce the amount of hours? The less willpower you have to use, the more optimal it will be. Recharge, can you take regular breaks? Can you eat nourishing foods? Timing. So when do you have the most willpower? Is it in the morning or is it a few hours later? So this is when you need to start tracking, um, you know, your willpower levels. So do you find later in the day when once you've woke up a bit and you've had your coffees and stuff like that, do you feel better then? So maybe a later session might be the best for you. Maybe you're not a morning person, you know, so therefore you could adapt that. So these are little things that you can look into. So yeah, that's the basic slides there. Just go to any questions. Oh, bugger. Has no one seen them? Ah, man. Yeah, I was changing the slides. It'll be on the video going back with me doing it, which I'll upload later. Just let me show you the slides again. So, if I can do it. I'll get to questions in a minute. So you can see that, but you can't see me doing the... Okay, now. But yeah, it's still just showing. I've got like a slideshow on, but it's not showing the actual slides. Not sure why it's doing that. Show screen share. So I'm just trying to work out what to do. New to this Discord. Yeah, what I'll do, I'll just go through the screenshots for you. So let's have a look. So you should be able to see this now. Can you see me going through these slides? Yeah, okay. So yeah, um, first slide was just about understanding your willpower. So just creating, I think you were right though, sleep. Yeah, sleep is definitely important. So yeah, first one was just understanding your willpower. So making sure you understand, when your willpower is at your best and when it's not. Just having that awareness is the foundation to start optimizing it. And next was prioritizing the trading tasks. So looking at, what it is that you can prioritize that's going to require the most willpower as well, and adapting to that. Avoiding decision fatigue. So again, going back to that, reducing the steps if you can. Um, and things like that. Implementing a routine. So getting real deep diving into your routine is going to be key. Finding pre-market stuff to do, what you need to do during and after to really make sure that you're optimizing your willpower. So before that trading routine, during, can you set alerts? Are you taking regular breaks? After, are you getting adequate rest and things like that? Are you doing exercise? This can all help as well. So managing stress and sleep, nourishing your mind. Diet is a key thing. A lot of traders, they're on these monster drinks and eating really bad diets, and they're getting all lethargic and they can't think straight. So Diet is a big part, and the simple act of just taking breaks, that can help you recharge and refocus. And then the last few slides were just about the four main things you need to think about: simplify, your frequency, reduce, and timing. So could you simplify your rules, reduce the steps? Could you simplify your routine? Um, could you reduce the amount of trades? Could you reduce the amount of hours? This is the most important, I'd say, in particular as well. You don't need to be sitting there for 8 hours a day. You need to be really optimizing the amount of trade. You can literally have just an hour a day, and that's more sustainable in the long run. If you're getting burnt out every day, looking at the screen 8 to 12 hours, whatever, that's not something you're going to be able to do for the next 20 years. And it's not something you probably got into trading to do as well. So look at the hours you trade. That will really make a big difference. Um, and also looking at could you reduce the amount of markets you trade? Maybe you're trading 50 markets. Maybe you could just trade the three of the best. And that way you're not having to go through loads of different markets and things like that. That can help. Recharge, we just covered that. Timing, when is that willpower most at its best? Some people are morning people, some people are more afternoon. Um, so yeah, that is basically the slides on the willpower. So let's go through the questions. So what was how many pairs should we have on our watch list? So it's totally up to you. Some people do better with like just one market. Again, that optimizes your willpower and your focus. Or you can have like a basket of them or a few. It's that's going to be totally totally depending on you. So it's what would you work best with, do you think? So have a little think about that. Would you work better with less pairs or would you work better with more pairs? So more on the performance side, you should be thinking. Um, I think you're right though. Sleep is critically important for a clear head and better thinking. Yeah, it really is. Something I track myself is my sleep, and I notice when I don't sleep right, you know, the trading usually isn't high quality. Yeah, I'm more prone to making mistakes and getting more stressed as well. When you're lacking sleep, it's easy to get stressed. So, and it's something I struggled with for a long time was sleep. But again, I managed to get better at it over the years, creating a good routine and things like that. Yeah, diet. Yeah, diet affects your sleep as well. Yeah, and timing of when you're eating. You meant to stop eating a few hours before you go to bed. Because if you eat just before you go to bed, your body's still working to digest it. It's using energy, and that can keep you awake. But yeah, very, very, very true. Any more questions, anyone? See someone's writing now. But yeah, how many of you actually ever thought about this in your trading? Is this something that's completely new to you, or have you, become aware of this recently? So you once told us about daily visualization and affirmations. I use both of them to simplify my routine. Can I cut visualization and stay with only daily affirmations? So, of course you can. You can do whatever you want. Um, I'm not forcing you to do anything. Do what works for you. What helps you get in a better state? What helps you trade better? Is it the visualization? Were you preparing for the potential things that could happen and how you're going to handle it? Or do you find yourself more empowered when you say your daily affirmations? Does that help you more? Use what works and disregard the rest. Build your routine up to fit you and help you trade at your best. That's the key. Like for me, I used to do a lot of meditation in the morning, which helped, but I've cut that out now. I don't really do that. I prefer just going for a nice walk, and find that just wakes me up, and just taking an hour just to chill out before the madness. So the routine is all independent, so it's just got to fit you. And just like what I say with the strategy side of things, You take the templates from me. I mean, you can trade it exactly like me, but it should really fit you, so you can trade it more easier. So it has to fit you and your goals. Yeah, no problem, no problem. But what you're doing right now is you're testing things. You're testing doing a bit of visualization, affirmation. This is how you find your style of routine and things. So you just have to do different things and find what works, and then keep what works, disregard the rest. So if you've got any more, bang them in. Still got a bit of time. So about the sample size, how many trades should we take? Um, it depends what you mean. Do you mean when you're starting a new strategy after you've tested it? But yeah, 20 trades is usually a good sample size um, after you've tested it. Yeah, after you've tested it and verified it, you just want to start tracking it every 20 trades and seeing what the results are like and see if it matches the historical testing. If it's normal, continue doing it. But yeah, after 20 trades, it's just large enough to know if it's working as it should, and just small enough, not to blow your account and, do any more damage. So yeah, reviewing every 20 trades is good, especially to let the probabilities work out. In the short term, one or two trades, five trades, it's just random. It's random noise. But once you start getting that larger sample size, that's when the law of large numbers starts to work, the probabilities. 10 trades is, yeah, it's decent, but 20 is a bit better. I do know a few traders who stick to the 10 trade idea, but for me, 20 trades seems more realistic. Because like for any system, you could have seven losses in a row, or something like that. That's totally normal. But if you were only going off 10 trades, you'd think, oh, it doesn't work. Yeah, 20 trades is more realistic, yeah. And then when you've done the 20 and it's working as should, getting to 40 trades, that's when you're going to start seeing, when you go for that next 20 trades, that's when you're really going to start seeing if it's working well. And also, what you have to remember is, even if you've historically tested it, you need to find out what you're like trading it live as well. Does it really fit you? Um, because in testing, it's easy, everything's instant. You think, yeah, I'd have done this and that. But when you go live, based on the experience of what your emotions and thoughts and things like that, it might be a different experience, and you might think, okay, I want to do things a bit differently. I can do this, tweak this, and that's where you can start looking at things. Yeah, based on journaling feedbacks, I feel you. Yeah, that's good to hear. Good. Yeah, it's good to hear you doing all the preparation. You're not skipping the steps. You've done your testing, and now you're doing your live testing. Just make sure you're doing it with small risk. Remember, you're still in the testing phase when you're forward testing. So don't go full risk. You know, you still want to be making sure you're risking small and seeing if it's working as it should. And also, you'll have the confidence to actually trade the system. If you've got full risk on, you won't fully trust it just yet. So start small, create a safe environment, build the data, and then slowly scale up your size once you start seeing the positive results. Ah, brilliant. The suggestion to keep profits small to build confidence helped this week. That's fantastic to hear. I'm glad that helped. Yeah, it was a good session on that. Can we ask any questions regarding the mechanical strategy just now? Kushkan, yeah. How many trades is best to take per week to optimize willpower? So, brilliant question. So, it's all going to be personal to you. You've got to just start tracking these things and observing it. So make sure you've got like a notepad or, in an Excel spreadsheet, start tracking how you are on certain days, your stress, your energy, your mood, things like that. For me, I like just doing one a day. That really is how I optimize my willpower. I do the analysis, set the alerts, that trade sets up, I take the trade, I walk away. That's sustainable for me. Maybe I'll do two trades here and there, but in general, I just like to do one trade a day, and yeah, set and forget. That takes me out of it. I'm not using any willpower with the trade management, so that's how I do it. Is it recommended with how about 1 minute or 5 minute time frame? So the time frame is another way of optimizing your willpower. If you're using the 1 minute, you know, for an hour, think about how much you're having to watch it and do stuff and how much energy and focus willpower you're expending, Whereas if you just use like an hourly time frame, you check it once an hour, that willpower and focus is going to be much better. So if you are thinking about scalping, you have to really make sure it fits you and, you're optimized for it. Is it recommended with your strategy for scalping? Yeah, you can use it for scalping. I know there's a few people who do it. What I generally do is I do use the 1 minute for a break of structure. Um, so I wait for it to come to high value areas, create the divergence, and then I'll actually go down to the 1 or 5 minute and look for the divergence again, and then a break of structure kind of thing. So yeah, you can do it, but I recommend making sure you've got some, high time frame confluences in your favor, like structures and stuff or liquidity. But yeah, there is a few people who just trade the mechanical one. But yeah, if you're trading just a purely mechanical without any confluences, you want to make sure you optimize the markets as well. With a mechanical system, it only works really good on certain markets. It will work generally good on certain markets, but there'll be like one or two or four that really, really work well. I found the hourly much more manageable. Yeah, that's so true, Leo. Yeah, I like it. Yeah, simple. Yeah, 15 min or lower can be stressful. Yeah, 15 min is usually like my perfect time frame. Once it sets up, go down to the lower time frame, look for the entry, and then walk away. Is there any good RSI divergence indicator on TradingView? I've never found a good one, to be honest, because a lot of them repaint, so they don't actually show the divergence or something when they set up. It's usually after the fact. I know there is one lad who I've worked with who uses it for alerts, and it seems to be doing all right for him. But for me, I've never found it to help. Can you give us a lesson about self-coaching? Can you give us a bit more on what you mean about that? Love that RSI divergence as a leading indicator that something is setting up. Yeah, yeah, and that's the key as well. Divergence is a signal that something is changing. You got to remember that. So that's why it's important to have confirmations as well and stuff. But yeah, it's a simple technique that works really, really well. So, what suggestions do you have to overcome a losing streak? Confidence level is low. So, I've uploaded. We did a group call last week on drawdowns. I've uploaded that um, somewhere in the Discord. I can tag you in that. But basically, I'll tell you what. I've got it here for you. The PDF is in the Discord as well. But one thing you can do is take time off when you're in that bad state. If it just feels like a grind, take time off. Allow yourself to cool down and recalibrate. So make a rule. If you hit a few losses in a row, say, okay, I'm going to take the rest of the week off or the next week off, and that just gives you a bit of time to recenter. Another thing you can do is reduce your frequency. So only go for the best setups. What this is going to do, it's going to help you keep your confidence up because you're only going for the best, so there's a higher chance of it working. Also, it's going to allow the markets to transition back to, sorry, going back to the time off as well. And this one, what you're doing is you're reducing the frequency and you're taking time off. So therefore, the market's going to have enough time to transition back to your favorable conditions. Because obviously, if you're in a drawdown, the market's just not in that right environment just yet. The next thing you can do is shorter targets. So just to make sure you start getting some wins. And what this does, it just helps you get that confidence back, helps you build that confidence going forward. Another thing you can do is reduce your risk. So create a rule where if you hit four in a row, losses, you reduce your risk. You can even do it the other way. If you win five in a row, reduce your risk. So then you can avoid that drawdown a little bit. Use your data for confidence to reference. So it's perfectly normal if you're going through a drawdown. And then there's a money management technique we went over. So yeah, check it out in the Discord. Would I need specific settings for best results for a 1 5 minute time frame? For the mechanical MW, not really, no. Just look at certain markets and then maybe look to add confluences. Self-coaching, having steps on how to guide ourselves to success. Um, So, what you can do is think of yourself in third person. Speak to yourself like like a friend, or like pretend you're your own trading coach. If you speak to yourself in third person, I know it sounds a bit weird, but you'll end up speaking to yourself kinder and giving yourself good advice. When we talk to ourselves internally, usually we end up bullying ourselves, talking harshly. So that's a good little way of doing it. The first candle which closes outside the band, should that candle we take the trade. So yeah, the first one, yeah, as long as it's you see a wick out coming outside of the Bollinger, yeah, no problem, Igor. Thanks for your question, really good one. So yeah, but, a good market to start testing it on that mechanical MW is the Euro Pound. That's one of my favourites for the mechanical system. Works really well. Try the 15 and 1 hour. 15 minute actually works really well. Yeah, try that one. You prefer the lower time frames. Something else you need to be looking at as well if you are scalping with the MW mechanical is make sure you're trading markets with low spreads, something like Euro USD, for example. Because if you've got a market with like a 2 pip spread and you're trading it on the 1 minute, you're going to have terrible results. It won't work. Yeah, that can happen. So that's the only thing with the mechanical system. So that's why I said if you have areas of value to trade at, you can pinpoint the entry. And also going down to the lower time frame, looking for like a break of structure, you can pinpoint the entry as well. So yeah, for me, what I do is I look for high value areas, divergence, and then I use lower time frame confirmations. But yeah, one little thing you could just start adding is make sure there's liquidity to the left. That's a simple technique as well. So once that MW sets up, the mechanical, look to your left. Is there a liquidity area? So wait for that to get taken out and then wait for the MW um, rejection. And if you want even more confirmation, go on to that lower time frame. And you can literally look for the same thing as well if you want to keep it simple. Just look for the MW mechanical. There's lots of ways to adapt that system. It's changed a bit for me over the years. It's not like that system is what I started with, but it's evolved now. So yeah, that's why I've got the Discord and the course and stuff. So if you want to join the Discord community, the premium, you can trade with me live, get the VIP education, breaking all this down, what I do, and obviously you get the course as well. So yeah, just go on you can get a free trial for 7 days as well on that to test the waters, and you gain access to all the videos. So you mean rejection or even a candle clause outside the band? For both signals to take. So you mean reject? You saw the candle clause outside the Bollinger. Yeah, that can be a signal, but I prefer to see a wick because it shows rejection. When it's a big solid candle, they do work sometimes, but you got to expect a bit of drawdown. You got to expect it to go against you a little bit before it goes the opposite way. With the rejection, you've got a higher chance of it actually reversing straight away than the actual candle, because the candles it's not showing any exhaustion on it. So I'd advise to look for wick rejections outside of the Bollinger. Does that make sense? Yeah. Cool, cool. Okay, doke. So yeah, I don't think anyone's got any other questions, so we'll call it a day there. So yeah, don't forget, you can do the Discord free trial. Just click on the free trial thing in the Discord and you can join up completely free for 7 days. But yeah, if not, I'll see you in the free stuff and yeah, have a good weekend and take care. Hope you enjoyed today. It's good having you all. And I'll post this up in the Discord as well. I just see a few people typing. I'll just wait for them just before I go. Is this the only strategy you trade, or is there a sugar-coated one in your view? So no, I don't. Like this strategy was the first strategy. It's evolved since then. So yeah, in the VIP, I show you how I trade it now. So using high value areas, and the MW triple, and then lower time frame confirmations. So it's a much higher probability setup now with that. But yeah, the mechanical is the best way to get started. It's black and white, and it creates the right habits. But yeah, if you want a bit more um, if you want to evolve a bit more with it, then the Discord, the paid Discord will probably be your best bet. But like I said, it's 7 day free trial. You can just see if you like it, test out the waters. So yeah, okay, doke. So yeah, cheers for everything, everyone, for all your questions, and have a good weekend. And I'll speak to you all soon. Take care. Bye bye.